I got a lot of gear, and this isn't even all of it, but you don't even need all this gear, and here's why. Gear will not make you a better content creator. Let's get into it. So I know you have probably searched best gear to start a YouTube channel, best gear to use for Instagram Reels. How do I make my YouTube videos look super crisp? Like all of these things that you want to do to start your YouTube channel or to make your content pop more. And while I do think gear is an amazing tool and having great cameras and lighting and audio are great tools, I do not think they make you a better creator. Now, do they enhance the content that you are creating? Yes, but they are not going to be the thing that makes you go viral or makes you stand out as a content creator. So I want to get into the things that are going to make you stand out and kind of debunk some of the ideas that you probably have when it comes to gear. So I know it sounds cap for real when you hear all of these content creators saying like, use your iPhone, your iPhone creates great quality, like, you know, all of this stuff. And trust me, I have said that too because it's true. It is not cap. I'm just here to say that. Because here's the thing. When you start something and you get something new and you invest in all these things, for one, you think that that's going to motivate you to create more. So you buy a camera or you buy all this gear. You've seen all these other YouTubers buy. You're like, which camera should I buy? Is this one better? Is that one better? And you think that that's going to make you create just as well as those creators who are using those gear or cameras that you've seen or they've like recommended. And the thing about having that mindset is that it's just not true. Like if you don't know how to use a camera, then your content is not going to look like theirs. Just because you have the same camera as someone does not mean that your content is going to look just like theirs. And a lot of times gear just makes us feel like we are moving the needle forward when really we are just slowing ourselves down. For example, I have a friend and she texts me like, girl, I want to throw this camera on the floor. Like, I don't know how to use it. The video isn't turning out how I thought it should. Like all of these different concerns. And I'm like, girl, first of all, breathe. But second of all, I told you to just start with your iPhone. And it's almost like people feel like that's just not good enough. Like they can't create good content with your iPhone, and you can. And the thing is, if you cannot maximize your iPhone and max out those settings and use that to your advantage and just get going, then you are still not going to know how to maximize the settings on your camera and with your lighting and with your audio and all of these different things. So using what you have and starting there and maximizing that is also going to help you be faster with creating content, because what my friend was running into was that she wasn't even cranking out the content enough because she was getting slowed down by all these hurdles with the camera and setting it up and getting it, you know, having to go and edit it on her computer and all of these different things. So cameras and gear, if you are a beginner, they can slow you down and also give you this false perception that it's going to make you a better creator when really is not. So what is going to make you a better creator? I'm about to break those things down. Number one is practice. Practice, 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 practice. Even if you look at some of my early videos, you can see how different my voice sounded. You can see how different my lighting is, my makeup is, like my confidence is. And although I started YouTube with a leg up because I studied broadcast journalism, I did a lot of on-camera work. Practice is key. And when I say practice, I mean like practice speaking to the camera. Like practice speaking in complete sentences, practicing in the mirror, practice when you're talking to friends instead of just bantering and like chit-chatting. Try to test each other out and see how long you can talk without using any filler words like like, you know. That takes practice, and that is the beneath the surface work that you have to do to become a better creator. And a lot of us as content creators go through those phases on camera and you have to have the ability to be shameless. And for some people, you can be okay with practicing in public, being okay with messing up and putting out messy content until you can get into the swing of it. So practicing. My husband is an engineer, and we were talking about this, and I was like, you know what? Why doesn't everybody think they can be an engineer? You know, like, why doesn't everybody think they can be a doctor, or everybody doesn't think they can be the president, but everybody thinks they can be a content creator? And it's almost as if the skills that it takes to be a content creator are so undervalued because so many people are content creators, which is great. There are lots of amazing content creators out there. However, there are people that think that their content should just pop off, and your content just simply isn't good, or you just don't have the skills, or you don't have the desire to better your skills to become a content creator as a profession. And like, my husband is an engineer, and he had to go through a lot of school, and his freshman year, he was like, it was a whole bunch of us in freshman orientation. And by graduation, I don't even think 100 of the people who he started with graduated, because as you go deeper into it, the commitment has to be even stronger. And that's the only way that you're going to get to the end, or get to the success. And so even for him, I'm like, you know, everybody doesn't look at how much engineers make and be like, okay, I'm about to be an engineer tomorrow. Nobody does that. But like, we can go on YouTube and look at how much content creators make, and how all these how-to videos on creating content. And we think that just because we've watched the content, that now we're equipped and able to go off and do it. And it does not work like that. You have to put in the practice and the time and the desire and the hard work and the energy to work getting to the next level in that profession. Number 2 is patience. I mean, this is one of those things where you have to know that there's only so many things you are able to control. And if you come in to creating content trying to rush your growth, you are just slowing yourself down, because you start getting on this rat race of, okay, what can I do to grow fast? And how can I present myself in a way? How can I make myself look like I'm further along than I actually am? And the lack of patience is actually going to slow your process of becoming who you are as a content creator down. So maintaining patience and just being okay with not having full control over the algorithms, or over how many people view your video, or, you know, just not giving yourself enough patience to become who you need to be in order for your success as a content creator to actually grow and develop. You have to give it time. And number 3 is persistence. Just having that drive. I know I talk about how me and my husband talk about this stuff all the time, but we literally have conversations about success and drive and just our mindsets all the time. Like, it's actually kind of crazy. But we were talking about how desire has to be there in order for you to see something through. And when you have persistence in something, that means you actually have drive to overcome obstacles to get to whatever it is that you want in the end. And a lot of times the desire is not strong enough to get you over those obstacles. And that's when we hear people complaining about not seeing the results that they hoped for, or no one's watching their content, or they're only growing so many subscribers, and why isn't it happening faster? And you have to have the persistence and know that your desire is going to outweigh the work and the obstacles that are going to possibly come in the way of the goal that you have. When it comes to creating content, I just want you to know that you have to want it so bad and be able to try a variety of things, not box yourself into one thing. And that is like, I think that having these 3 things, the practice, the patience, and the persistence, are the recipe to becoming not just the creator you want to be, but the person that you need to be in order to create the content that people even want to watch. So, creating content is one of those things where you have to honestly keep growing as a person. Like I am realizing how much internal work and like how much internal like self-awareness that it takes in order to constantly be a thought leader or to be an influencer or to create just valuable content. You have to always be understanding what actually it took to get you to the next point. At least that's how I am, and that's why I've been bringing you guys along all of these years. So it's not the gear. I hate to break it to you, and I think the gear is one of the easiest ways to wrap it up, like especially for coaches and people who teach content in YouTube like me, to be like, these mics are so amazing. They're gonna make your whole experience so different. Like, you don't want to fall into the trap of feeling like you have to overly consume all of these different things and overly like purchase all of these different things just to be a good creator. Will they help make your content better? Yes, for sure. I would be lying if I said I create all of my content with my phone, but I do know how to create some bomb iPhone content if I need to. Take it one step at a time, maximize what you have first, and then graduate into the next thing. And I promise you, you will feel so much better because you will know that your content isn't just growing because you bought a new thing. It's growing because people actually like who you are. So it won't matter what the heck kind of gear you're using. People just want to watch you because they like you. I am going to be hosting a live webinar very soon. I will leave the details for that in the description box because it is going to be so great, all about how to ditch your niche and grow an incredibly engaged community without pinning yourself into a niche. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, highly recommend you check out that info in the description box. And with that, we're going to be talking about being authentic in the next video. So I hope to see you there. Bye for now.